I've known Steve for at least 10 years. There was no excuse for that. Next, though, Michael Cohen. I'd like to introduce our next speaker who connects the importance, Michael, if you could come on up, of university-driven innovation with economic development opportunities represented by cities like San Leandro. Michael Cohen drives initiatives, agreements, and relationships that catalyze the commercialization of UC Berkeley innovations. Michael is also one of the co-founders of Berkeley Skydeck, a startup accelerator and technology entrepreneurship center that is in the process of being connected to San Leandro's fast fiber. Michael, what is the best role of municipal government in motivating innovation and business attraction?
The short answer is to create a cheetah with lasers. Well, I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate San Leandro and the FCC's Gigabit Community Challenge. And the reason is because it's so consistent with a lot of the research that we're doing at UC Berkeley to understand how to commercialize university innovations and create university-driven innovation ecosystems. As part of that research, we studied probably over 70 examples of how innovations have been commercialized both at UC Berkeley and also at the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. And that led to the observation that there are 4 common patterns. I call them the 4 M's: morphed, mined, milked, and marketed. And once we identified those 4 patterns, we set out to figure out how to optimize them. And that led to a series of best practices for various parties, including government. And one of the best practices for government is to foster infrastructure for innovation, and especially do it in ways that can motivate private enterprise to do it. And that's why the FCC's initiative and San Leandro are such great examples of this. And just to contrast that with poor example, just to be a little controversial here, that's so much better use of taxpayer money than, for example, funding startups by government, especially in places like the Bay Area that have such a robust innovation ecosystem. Governments don't need to circumvent that natural vetting process. So supporting infrastructure is key. So kudos to the FCC and to San Leandro for making this happen. Thank you.
Perfect. Keep those entrepreneurs in Berkeley innovating and creating, and we're going to bring them over here to San Leandro with our fast fiber. Next, I'd like to introduce to you one of the linchpins of this whole process, Jenny Linton, who's president of OSIsoft. So Jenny is responsible for operations as well as overseeing the management team of OSIsoft. Her strategic focus is to support the broader adoption and global growth of OSIsoft, very difficult to do without fiber, building upon an installed base in more than 110 countries. That's right here in San Leandro. Jenny is here to talk about OSIsoft's rapid expansion and how San Leandro solved a major expansion challenge.
Hi, I want to start by thanking the chairman for coming to San Leandro for the afternoon and for hearing some of our story about San Leandro. OSIsoft began as Oil Systems, Inc. in San Leandro in 1980. This is our 34th year in business in San Leandro. We started at 545 Estudillo, and we have had expansion problems since then. We bought the building and moved an office at a time until we ended up without space, and actually looked to leave San Leandro as early as 1995 and go out to Walnut Creek, and that just really didn't work for our employees, because once you start employing people, they don't want to move. And today we employ 900 people in about 20 countries, and we expect to exceed $300 million in revenue this year. So that's the size of our company today. So a few years ago, we started running out of space and looking for places to go. And our founder and CEO, Pat Kennedy, is also my father, so I've spent most of these years in a part of this as well. So we started driving around, and we could go to Oakland, and we could go here, and we could go there. But once again, we now have 300 employees driving to San Leandro every day, and you try to go north or south, and you just really can't do it. And it's been... in the last 10 years, he came up, he says, well, San Leandro has this conduit, we should run a fiber, the city should run a fiber, and he went back to several city managers ago and said, you should be running fiber, and the city said, thank you very much, we're a city, and finally a couple years ago he said, this is our 40th year here in San Leandro, and what San Leandro has given to us, we're going to give to San Leandro, and went in and started talking about a public-private partnership, and it's really made a huge difference in being able to get what we need, which is more space in San Leandro, and also what San Leandro needs. It's an old manufacturing town, and it's full of space and infrastructure and excess gas and excess power and, everything that the mayor mentioned, BART stations and great capacity and beautiful weather like today. It's like this every single day in San Leandro. So we do operate in 110 countries. We received the President's Export Achievement Award last year, and I actually didn't realize that was a very significant achievement until I looked at other companies around. It's not very usual thing to do, and we've been able to do it here out of San Leandro, so we plan to spend our next 30 years here as well. So thank you very much.
That's the perfect example of innovation. It's seeing things that others don't see and making it happen. So who would have thought San Leandro, an older industrial city, but we have a major software international company growing up in our midst, and they decided to stay here and give back, and it has the perfect infrastructure for moving to the next level. So here, helping to make that real, I'm going to introduce next to you Jim Morrison, and he has a long history in wireless voice and data communication systems and is in the enviable position of being CEO of the unique public-private partnership that evolved out of OSIsoft need for fiber speed. Jim.
Thanks, Deb.
Lit San Leandro was founded as an economic development driver. What's the plan to use the fiber to attract, retain, and expand businesses and create jobs?
Well, thank you so much, everyone. My name is Jim Morrison, and I'm helping to orchestrate the fiber rollout connectivity for the Lit San Leandro project. It's very exciting times because we are bringing ultra-fast networks to businesses throughout the San Leandro area. The mission statement for San Leandro is primarily it's an economic development driver, and not only in San Leandro but the outlying neighboring communities also. And that driver is by providing ultra-fast, reliable, and affordable network access via fiber optics. I mean, right now, let's face it, it's the economy is starting to pick up. It's a bit slow, and there's an old saying, you give a man a fish, he'll eat for one day. You teach a man to fish, and he can eat for his lifetime. So, what we plan on doing is not teaching people how to fish, not giving them a fish. It's applying the fishing rod to get the fish themselves. And this represents the fiber. It's a big fishing pole, but it's a big pipe of data that we have with the fiber. So, this is bringing definitely opportunities to San Leandro and the businesses that operate in and around the San Leandro area. I have... our emphasis right now is connecting the existing businesses in San Leandro to give them the bandwidth they need to do the scanning, do the call centers, do the engineering, pulling down three-dimensional CAD drawings. Peterson Tractor is a prime example, a Caterpillar dealer. You would think, why in the world would anyone need high bandwidth at a place that works on tractors? But then you look closer and you go in the front door and there's a call center there. And then you also find out that, wait a minute, the engineers are pulling down three-dimensional CAD drawings. It's a lot more going on than just working on tractors. We're also supporting the U.S. Ignite initiative in advanced manufacturing. We're working very closely with that team, which is focused on energy, health, public safety, transportation, and advanced manufacturing. In conjunction with U.S. Ignite, we have achieved going to the third round of development for innovative products for advanced manufacturing, which is pretty exciting, and Judy Clark has really been helping a lot with that effort. Let's see, what are we doing today? We have working towards developing, in conjunction with U.S. Ignite, a Western Region Advanced Manufacturing Center here in San Leandro. It's the start of an initiative that we're doing a lot of advanced manufacturing upfront work, so we're hoping to bring all of that as a center here in San Leandro. We're looking at establishing a hacker's house for software developers to use here in San Leandro, a place where people can go and see what it feels like to be on a 10 gigabit internet access network and write applications and be innovative. And let's see what else we got going on. We're also introducing companies from China and Europe to San Leandro. I've met with several 25 mayors from China, along with, we're going to have some delegates over from Turkey to show them some of the open space and manufacturing areas we have in conjunction with the high-speed network. So trying to draw in some companies from overseas for manufacturing here in the U.S. That's really exciting. And one of the key things, as mentioned before, as these companies move to San Leandro, they do have access to companies located in the Silicon Valley or in San Francisco or in Oakland. So we offer the complete package here, but we don't have the cost of real estate here that is in San Francisco. And finally, I'm going to wrap up progress to date, what we've done. There is 11 miles of fiber in the ground. There's 8 more miles to go. The network is live. To date, we have about 34 customers either on the network or in process of installing the fiber to them. We have established a new office for Lit San Leandro in San Leandro. We have another company move in. A gentleman will be coming up soon, Steve Scales, speak about Power Factors, another company that has moved in to San Leandro because of the fiber. We do employ several local people in the fiber effort, along with public outreach, along with all the other things that occurs as we move into office space, whether it's the painters, whether it's the electricians and stuff. And at the beginning of this month, we did hold a US Ignite event with 50 attendees from various states throughout the nation, from various universities, and that, I think, was a big boon to the Marina Inn that helped sponsor that convention coming in, and they stayed for 3 days. That's fairly significant. And last but not least, we even had the FCC Chairman come here. Yay-hoo! Thank you very much, everyone.